Hi friends, welcome back to Arc Tutorials. A lot of you have been writing to me, reaching out to me, asking me to create exclusive, free, end-to-end, complete tutorial series on AWS. I love AWS, I love Azure, I love GCP. I have worked on all of these three different cloud platforms. Starting this series, I want to share my knowledge, I want to share my experience of working with AWS. But AWS itself is an ocean, alright, because there are more than 300 plus services that are available as part of AWS platform. So this is my attempt, and this series is a concept series, which means I'm going to cover at least 100 or 200 odd services that are available in Amazon. This is to give you an overview of what these services are, what they do, what are the use cases, and what are some real-time use examples. The purpose of this particular series is to help you understand what these services are, because if you know, that's when you can use them. I will also create a series little later in time where I will start implementing these services as a hands-on. But like I said, this is a concept series, which means I want to introduce all the AWS services, explain it to you. Starting today, this is part 1 of the series. We will start with the first one, which is Amazon EC2. Alright, so please do make sure that you like this series and subscribe so you get notifications. I will be trying to post the tutorials on a daily basis. Alright, first a quick summary of this service. What is Amazon EC2? EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. That's why ECC, that is EC2. So Amazon EC2 is a scalable cloud computing service provided by Amazon Web Services. Now think of it this way, that any business that wants to scale their computing resources, right? They want to deploy applications without any need to invest in any physical hardware, which means you are renting a service from AWS to host your applications. That is what is called as Amazon EC2. It stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. Amazon EC2 provides businesses with scalable and flexible computing resources that adapt to dynamic needs while enhancing operational efficiency and reducing cost. Now let's talk in detail about this service. Scalability. EC2 is easily able to scale up or scale down depending on the demand of your application. There are a lot of instances types that we can choose from depending upon various workloads. The pricing is simple and straightforward, which is either you go by pay only what you use, or you can use on demand, reserved, etc., etc. Since it's part of the AWS platform, that means any AWS EC2 instances that you create, you can easily and seamlessly integrate with, say, database RDS or S3 buckets or VPC, etc. All of the AWS services comes with built-in security features like IAM or VPC, which is virtual private cloud, etc. Elastic IP address, which means static IP addresses are designed for dynamic cloud computing environments. Block storage. Elastic Block Store provides persistent block storage volumes for EC2 instances. Auto scaling, I talked about it. When you rent a server, when you rent a cloud instance, when you rent EC2 from AWS, it can automatically adjust the number of instances based on the load or a schedule. So what are some of the pros? The pros are obviously that it's flexible, it's scalable computing capacity. There are different types of instances that we can choose and configure from. It integrates well with other AWS services and has strong security and compliance options. What are some of the cons? Now, over a period of time, let's say you are a large enterprise and you have so many instances of EC2s, it becomes little difficult to manage such large and huge number of instances. Nevertheless, the cost will also go up and requires continuous monitoring in order to keep in check. Obviously, this requires someone who knows and who is an expert in AWS services to set up that. But again, since you're learning, you will be very well versed with how to set up, how to use it. Let's talk about some of the use cases of where AWS EC2 is used. Web hosting and application deployment. If you talk any big or large small application or enterprise, they will use Amazon EC2 to deploy their applications, install it as part of the CI/CD pipelines, and push them directly to an instance. Batch processing and data analytics. Again, if you have a lot of batch processes or scheduled jobs, you can use EC2. Different EC2 instances or servers can be configured for different environments like development, testing, etc. High performance computing and scientific simulations. Again, whatever data heavy operations, or if your application requires that, you can use EC2. Talking about some of the real world examples, Netflix uses Amazon EC2 for streaming services and scaling up the number of instances when load is more and lowering it down when the traffic is low. Similarly, Airbnb uses it for online marketplace. NASA uses it for computational research and data analysis. Lyft uses for backend infrastructure to support ride sharing services. These are some of the real world examples. I hope the concept of AWS, that is Amazon EC2, is clear. It's a cloud computing instances which companies can rent and pay as you use it to host your applications instead of buying physical servers. Alright, that's the end goal of EC2. I hope you are enjoying this series of concept series where I'm trying to cover all the AWS services to tell you what they do, and later I'm going to explore and do hands-on on all of this. In the next episode, I will cover about AWS Lambda. Very important, very oftenly used in most enterprises. So you should know what is a Lambda, why is it used, and what are some of the use cases. Thank you so much for joining. See you in the next episode.